Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy
Hazzed.
Today we are at Blackrook Hold Arena, gonna get some world PvP, and as it seems they've put in that 40% world PvP damage reduction, so we're gonna see how fast our bursting slash nuke spec's gonna do.
Kill
as you
anything.
can see
Yeah, you
here.
understand
I'm
that.
gonna go ahead and pop up what spec I'm running on the screen right now. I'm basically running a maximized burst spec.
Who wants to be a Death Knight? I'm serious about what I do. Hazed.
What legendaries I'm running. We're gonna be doing the legendary helmet and legendary ring to elongate my breath out. If I had the bracers, I'd definitely be rocking on those for this. But let's go ahead and get into some world PvP and take a look at this damage reduction.
You will always be at one level, and this is my level.
How'd you get out there? Oh, he jumped through the wall. He's like a ninja. He's like a ninja. Warrior's like a ninja. No, I got this. Warrior ain't gonna take me. Warrior. That was actually not bad. That was pretty good. That was an elongated fight. I got off a full burst there. I actually was able to use pretty much most of my cooldowns to finish him off. That was actually fairly stable. That was enjoyable. Let's do it again. Alright, so there's a couple tanks down here, and tanks did not receive the 40% damage reduction, so these guys won't nearly be as tanky as they were, at least compared to what we are now. And all three of them go splat. We got Pharaoh Druids, we got Demon Hunters, we got a Prop Paladin. Let's go after the Prop Paladin without cooldowns and see if we can get through a lot of his defenses. It looks like we can. Alright, we're gonna kill all three of them right here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go back in. We only got partials. Let's go. Let's go. One guy down. Alright, we got Death Strike proc right here. We can proc it on him. We're gonna rip right through this guy. This guy's got bubble up. Throwing down anti-magic zone for when he comes out. Hopefully gonna use that Death Strike proc, and then we're gonna push right through Prop Valley. Oh, he's got some heals going on. We're gonna have to get our extra little proc there, finishing up the little dungeon. Gonna go in on this Warlock if I can get to him. I don't want him to get that little step up on me right here. I've got some healing coming off here. He's using Drain Soul. Let's see how tanky he is. I'm kind of wondering with the damage reduction how tanky Warlocks are gonna be. Look, it's big. I'm gonna get him. Big, I had to get you, man. I'm sorry. You had to go down. We're gonna take out the Warlock first, and then we're going after Pally. Pally went down pretty hard. Here's Big. You killed me. Sorry, man. I couldn't help it. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage. Let's see if we can get this monk down. He's got karma on somebody else. I don't care who he has karma on, so we're just gonna push right through that. Oh, let's even get this priest. Priest's probably really tanky right now with them extra little buffs. There we go down. Oh. No, he's not gonna open on me? I kind of... Oh, there he is. Good night. Alright, we're gonna burst. Check this out. Boom! Dragon from downstairs. Alright, we're getting over there on this guy. Did he bubble? He definitely bubbled. Alright, we're going after the Warlock. Healing up off of Warlock as we're just keeping in on him here. Warlock's dead. Going in on Pally. This is not going to end well for us with this many stacks, I think. But we're going to go in on him anyways. We got Howling Blast procs coming in. We're getting hit by Demon Hunter. That's not going to end well. Oh, we got the Pally. Yes! Ooh, that was evil. That was mean. Oh! Alright, what do we got? Ooh, Blood DK. That's something we haven't tested out yet. He's a tank. Oh, no. Pharaoh Druid first. We just know. I just know he's going to dot everybody up and then run around. And then I don't like this guy, so maybe we'll focus him before we go after the Blood DK. Throwing down anti-magic zone for sure. Looks like I'm being bursted on though by Blood DK. Alright, we're going in on him. It looks like I'm getting hit. I need more RP so I can heal, but I can't get it because he parried. We got Handsmith Shaman, we got Rogue, we got Affliction Warlock. We're just gonna go in and bomb. We're gonna AoE spam. Oh, this is gonna be bad for them. We're just gonna take probably they're all gonna die. They're all gonna die. Maybe not the Blood DK, but they're all gonna die one of these days. Alright, going in on him. I'm just getting slaughtered. Blood DK still too strong. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Rogue's dead. Getting on Shaman. Gonna anti-magic shot. Make sure I don't get casted on by that Warlock. Then I'm gonna switch to Warlock. Warlock's probably gonna fear me soon after. There's the fear gonna interrupt that. Did not expect him to. He's a 104 DK. I'll let you live, bro. You can live. You can live. Frost Army for life. You can live. Alright, we got this. Is this a holy DK? It's a holy DK. Look at that. I haven't seen one of those yet. Alright, we're gonna stay inside our little anti-magic zone because he can't do much damage to us as long as we're in here. And we're going to take out that unholy DK, trying to heal off that rogue. We actually managed to heal off the rogue there. I half expected him to dodge that heal. And we're going to cut back LOS to make sure that caster doesn't kill us. And we're going to finish off that rogue. And we got Warlock coming back on us. We got one Death Ray proc heal, but healing's just, my stacks are way too high. I can't heal. Take it out the rogue. Take it out the rogue. No more dodging for you. Alright, going after this Shaman. Shaman jumped, pulling him back in. Trying to keep up a lot of damage. I should wait Dragon. I'm wait on Dragon. I'm dead. Alright, we got a lot of things to focus in here. We got DKs. We got... I'm not even sure everything that's in here right now, but we're just going to come out hard on him. Stacking up some RP there in case we need to burst. This pally's running from us. We saw that. Oh, we're getting low too. I didn't even notice that. We're gonna go ahead and heal off this guy. And is that everybody? Everybody's dead? Did we win? We won. Okay. This right here is a warrior. We're gonna get him. Where you going, Mr. Warrior? It's PvP time. He's coming in hard. He's popping cooldowns. Alright, we're actually going to get out of that stun and LOS him for a split second. Allow that little retaliation to go away. And then we're going to come back inside and give him the business. Ooh. Oh, we got sapped. Comes off in the opener. Let's see what he got. Atta baby, atta baby. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I gotta mount up. I got Blood Drinker back up. Wow, that dot that was not a dot, that was Blood Drinker. Alright. That actually put us in a bad spot. That's okay. Stop running, you chicken. Alright, where's he going? Where's he going? I don't even have my dot apply on my bar. There we go. There's one. Don't fly away. What are you doing? Get back here. No, you don't start using that stuff. Oh, here we go. We got damage coming in on us again. I don't got anti-magic shell. I do got ways through it though. He poured it right in front of us. We got kicked, stunned. Alright, coming in hard, coming in hard. I should have waited on the other one, but that's okay.
It's too far away.
Alright, let's do this. Blood mirror. Stun. Got him. Jeez. Jeez.
It's too far away.
Whoa. Whoa. Alright, he's going cooldowns. I'm gonna go cooldowns too. Throwing up blood mirror to reflect. Going in ham with some damage here. Probably should have waited to use that until I needed to, but I feel like we'll be able to push right through now that we're using the correct legendaries. Whoa! Getting out of that. Throwing up some more damage reduction. He's healing up quite a bit, but I'm fairly sure after that wears off, he doesn't got much damage after that. Alright. That's where I'm gonna pull him in, kiting him out, throwing down that. I do got Blood Drinker up, which would probably finish him at this point. We'll go ahead and use that. Oh, he Shadow Locked it. Smart move, smart move.
It's too far away.
Not that I beam. Good game. Where is he gonna pop out at? There he is. And in which case, I'm just gonna come out as fast and as hard as possible. Otherwise, it will not end well for me. I got stunned. Coming out with some healing here. Trying to get some procs off. Not managing many procs here. Gonna go ahead and pop some cooldowns. Wow! Skyfury Totem finally goes down. I don't know why that took so long. Trying to keep up some survivability here. I need to close that gap. I do have leap in case he runs too far away. I'm going to be able to close it on him. Looks like my macro finally went off. And I'm just keeping up as much pressure on this druid as possible. GG. So after a full day of PvPing, I finally feel like I've got a grasp. I went out and did world PvP, went out and ganked a bunch of people, and went out and dueled on 3 separate characters, the Frost DK Enhancement Shaman and the Demon Hunter. Tested out the blood spec on the Death Knight, tested out the tanking spec on the Demon Hunter, and I've got to say the concept of what's going on now with this 40% damage reduction is we are seeing almost a complete shift in power and play style. Now the game still is fairly bursty, as you saw with my Frost DK clips earlier in the video, that you can still kill somebody in 3 to 5 seconds or kill them within a stun if they don't have a trinket or something to get out of it. But what we've noticed over, or what I've noticed over the last day, is the fact that a certain legendary has been sticking out way above the rest of the legendaries when it comes to overall power and survivability. Now the fact that we got a 40% damage reduction, but that's also going to limit certain classes that have healing based off of damage dealt or damage taken, and then they heal based on the damage dealt or damage taken, resulting in a much lesser heal for those certain classes. So like on my Frost DK, even though a 40% damage reduction will give me more open room to fight somebody, it'll give me more time to set up burst, which is good overall, but my survivability is actually worse than it was before inside World PvP combat, since Death Strike only heals percentage on the last 5 seconds of the damage taken. So all that damage taken is now reduced by another 40%, and we're not going to get nearly as big a death strikes coming into World PvP combat. Now where does that leave us? Things like Demon Hunter's Havoc, passive healing, and Metamorphosis, since that's based on damage done, that's a lot weaker than it used to be. You know, I talked about the Death Knight Death Strike for both Frost and obviously Unholy, it's going to be nerfed down. And things like arms warriors that really had a low amount of survivability to begin with are actually going to be playing out a lot worse in world PvP than they were before, even though arms warriors really weren't great at world PvP to begin with. This is a straightforward nerf to any class that has low mobility or low self-survivability based on this damage reduction of mechanics and the fact that every class basically is stacking Prydaz, which adds a 25% absorb shield, 25% of your maximum health for 30 seconds, and after the 30 seconds reapplies. Obviously, if you're playing some kind of see, what word are we looking for? Anything that has healing, anything that has mobility, you're playing anything that can do both, deal a lot of damage and kite, deal a lot of damage and re-stealth. This neck piece is going to be extremely overpowered because even though it's only 25% of your maximum health, you got to take into account that you're also adding in that 40% extra less PvP damage going on in world PvP. They also nerfed down a lot of the one-shots, so that makes this neck piece a lot stronger than it used to be. 40% stronger, really. So any class that's Shaman, Rogue, Ret Paladin, Windwalker Monk, anything with a lot of survivability, a bubble, and a counter is really going to be on the top of the duel list or top of the world PvP list at the moment when it comes after that last little nerf. Alright, so one of the things that a lot of people had a lot of complaints about in World PvP was obviously tanks. So I really got to give a quick overview on how I feel tanks are sitting at the moment, especially since I had quite a bit of fun playing a Blood DK surprisingly today. So I'm going to start off by explaining kind of that duel clip you saw earlier. So what happened was I switched over to Blood DK using a PvE spec against a Windwalker Monk. Now I know this monk has years of experience on a Windwalker Monk because where I met him was actually figuring out my dueling spec for my Frost DK back on early beta for Warlords of Draenor. So that was the guy you saw me fighting against, Vig. So anyways, I came out cocky against him in my blood spec, thinking 40% damage reduction, blood DK, I still should be able to kill him using a PvE spec. I should be able to do it. It shouldn't be a problem. Well, soon to come to find out, it was still a really close duel, but he won by the end of the duel, and I was forced to go back in Orgrimmar, respec, take some of the correct stuff like Blood Drinker, Blood Mirror, things like that to actually counter a lot of his damage. Mark for Blood came out and dueled, and then of course you guys saw the duel that we recorded there that he lost with Blood DK. And as you can see, let's say the amount of distance between a DPS and a tank is not so great anymore. Like, it's not very huge, at least when it comes to things with self-healing and survivability. They can deal quite a bit of damage to a tank now, and they can actually survive quite a bit. But as it comes down to sheer raw strength, Blood DKs and other tanks are still definitely stronger when it comes to standing toe-to-toe with another DPS, but their damage obviously has been nerfed down by 40%. Same with you know, everybody else, but they didn't get the 40% damage reduction nerf themselves. So their survivability didn't go anywhere. Their healing probably, I can't remember if Death Strike heals. Yes, it does. So Death Strike healing for Blood Death Knights was technically nerfed down, and Consumption, which is the artifact ability for Blood Death Knights, has also been nerfed down since it heals you for a percentage, 100% of damage done to the target. You throw down Dancing Rune Weapon, that thing procs 3 times. It's almost like a full heal. It's a pretty insane ability. But overall, I'd have to say when it comes to group fights, things like that with healers, tanks should not be nearly as big as a problem as they've used to be. But would I recommend walking up behind a Blood DK, obviously pretty geared, and picking a fight with him and thinking you're going to win? Still not going to happen even if you are on a really geared healing / mobility class. And if you take the Blood Death Knight and of course you throw on the neck piece over here, Prydaz, and you were not going to kill Blood DK with Prydaz just because of how strong that is, obviously, and the fact that a Blood DK already has such a large amount of damage reduction when it comes to any kind of course, battle situation. The last thing that I want to touch on is the 40% damage reduction to healers, as I got to DPS on a couple of healers for a bit, do a little bit of world PvP against a couple of healers, and I've got to say, with the 40% damage reduction, healers are way too strong in world PvP. I literally watched a Holy Paladin with the Absorb neck, obviously, out there beating the crud out of classes with low survivability levels. Like, if you were to take a Priest versus a Frost DK, Disc Priest, or maybe even a Holy Priest, the Holy Priest would win because the Frost DK can't heal through that. The Priest doesn't do enough damage to make his overtime healing even slightly relevant when it comes to fighting one. At the moment, like a good healer, it should probably take 2 to 3 people. Like, healers are generally designed to take on 2 people, but the fact that they have all this extra stuff and of course bubbles and things like that, they're really not gonna die with this extra 40% damage reduction. And this is the main reason why this patch wasn't implemented to begin with, was the fact that it applied to tanks and healers. The fact that they took tanks off it was really good. The fact that they left healers on just absolutely blows my mind to see healers out there that strong. A geared healer will not lose 1v1. It is like absolutely impossible without a close to being one shot, since they have this 40% damage reduction. Like, our damage is almost laughable outside of burst. They just counter it with 1 CD and that's the end of it. They can basically kill any class that doesn't have a lot of survivability mechanics after either their main cooldowns or yeah, just after their main cooldowns or their main healing cooldowns. Like this Demon Hunter here, if I went Metamorphosis Leech and opened up on a healer, I'd have quite a time to deal some damage. More than likely, he'd throw up Pain Suppression, throw up Bubble, something like that. Run around, run back to the DPS, and starts hitting him again. He waits, of course, for my Metamorphosis to fall off. I don't have any Leech anymore, so now I'm left losing health without any consistent survivability, and this guy obviously just punching me not having nearly enough damage to put down a healer in any type of DPS versus healer situation. Even inside of Blackrook Hold, I came upon a priest that had like 5 stacks on him, which is an insane amount of extra damage taken. It's like 15% for each stack. I mean, quite literally, he was almost taken way past the damage that he should have, or way past the damage that's been obviously buffed, but healers were really strong before that, especially priests in world PvP. I mean, the guy was almost unkillable until he got up to almost 8 stacks, and I think 3 people jumped on and kill him, and it was just absolutely nuts looking at that going on. Like, literally, healers are the new tanks if you just give them a little bit of extra damage. So I do think healers need tweaked in world PvP. Tanks are pretty good. Their damage is still quite high, obviously, because of artifacts and legendaries and things like that. But overall, their survivability is nerfed. So what do I think about this patch? Like, to sum it up, what do I think? At least in a world PvP sense, my main, the Frost DK, obviously it's not very viable for me to duel on that character. Like, it's not gonna work out. Anything like a monk, a rogue, a paladin, like, they don't even have to try. All they have to do is counter my burst by simply bubbling, throwing up karma, popping evasion, throwing up cloak, and quite literally, if I can't hit him, of course, through bubble, Windwalker Monk, obviously I'll get my healer off, but they've got so much survivability and kiting mechanics that it obviously doesn't matter. I literally, as a Frost DK, do not stand a chance, even if I overgear the Windwalker Monk or Rogue. But there is a little bit of light there. The thing is, obviously, I don't have the neck piece on my Frost DK, but what I did notice against Rogue is I did survive the opener. I did last quite a bit longer in the duel, and the main problem I came up to fighting a Rogue now is the fact, of course, Death Strike goes dodge, 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 dodge. I sink literally 100 runic power into trying healing up, and not a single one lands. And my character's dead, obviously, because, you know, how are you going to beat RNG mechanics that are obviously not in your favor? But yeah, that's kind of how it's been going. Was I able to beat other classes on my Frost DK? Obviously, there was a few classes I could beat. Pharaoh Druids, Warriors here and there. I mean, for the most part, Warrior versus Frost DK was fairly balanced. you know, the Frosty K would have a slight bit more burst than the Warrior. Warrior would get bursted down. I mean, it really, Warrior's cooldown, Frosty K kites him slightly. Warrior gets back on Frosty K, and, you know, Frosty K continues to, you know, hit him down. So what happens is generally the Fury Warrior hits kind of his, see, what is it, like the last stand ability that they have that allows them not to die and stay alive with 1% health for like way too long in duels. I don't know what's up with that. You'd figure it would just end once they reached that point, since it generally did when it came to survivability abilities like that. But overall, you got to get the Death Strike off near the end. Your IBF Death Strike has to be during that. You've got a full heal just to make it through that to kill the Warrior. So that was definitely one of the more balanced fights I came across. Pharaoh Druids fighting a Frosty K was pretty balanced, since even though they do have the opener, you can trinket, get out of it pretty fast, and counter burst. They can kite out, you can grip them back, yada yada yada, goes on for a while. Even though they do have a large amount of self-healing, the fact that you can kind of reset the opener on them and switch to the aggressor is what allows you to actually fight back with a Pharaoh Druid, unlike a lot of the other classes that have a lot of kiting and mobility that you really just don't stand a chance when it comes to fighting. Let's say something like a really good balanced Druid. I mean, a bad balanced Druid opens up, stands still for 3 seconds too long. Obviously, Frosty K is going to kill him. A good one that kites out and stays away from the Frosty K, switches forms. Frosty K can't heal at range. I mean, it's really, it's in the Boomkin's favor at this point. So a lot of caster classes, a lot of things with healing. Way stronger than they used to be. Kind of like the Enhancement Shaman. My Enhancement Shaman is definitely a lot better in the dueling situations than he was pre-patch. So guys, I kind of wanted to sum up what I thought about this new 40% damage reduction after testing it out all day. Obviously they didn't update it on PTR, so we couldn't pre-test it out there. They did some tests earlier on when they were first talking about it, and really some of the same problems still exist. So I'm surprised to see them make a general buff like that without really looking at a lot of the other classes and seeing what it's going to do to them. Because for healer mobility classes fighting healer mobility classes, it actually turns out to be a really great 40% nerf to damage. A lot of the fighting, kind of like my Enhancement Shaman, goes on for quite a while. They heal themselves, you come back in, you fight, you heal yourself. You know, it's kind of like that rotation where you could actually you know, get your cooldowns and your CC abilities down to where it be, you know, your prime, where you're best at. You actually have time to do that. You have time to figure out things like that. You have time to CC, which beforehand, obviously, there was no time for it. It was burst fest. Now, obviously, there's still a lot of bursts going on. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you like this quick little update. Hope you like some of that world PvP, even though, in my opinion, it's world PvP. How great could it really be? Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like. If you have any questions about what's going on, you have any ideas, have any other things you want to pass on for world PvP, let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.